So just for a moment, come all the way down. Start to walk your feet in towards your body. Take your feet wide and just prop your knees together here. You're going to allow your arms to come out to the sides, palms are up. We're just going to take a moment to start to quiet the body. Starting to release any busy to-do thoughts. Just knowing you can pick that up after class, but for now, trying to be fully present on your mat. And bringing all your awareness to your breath. Start to take in bigger inhales, really let your belly bloat out, so filling the lungs with air. And as you exhale and come to the end of your exhale, exhale even further. Allowing those full breaths to really feed and energize the body. And from here, maybe just taking a moment to set an intention for yourself. What is it you want to gain out of class this morning? From here, on your next inhale, take a full inhale in, and as you exhale, allow it to come out through the mouth with an audible sound. You're going to take 2 more breaths in that manner. Just coming back to your normal breath. And then keeping the feet wide at the edges of your mat, just allow your knees to fall over one direction. Really pressing heavy into the top knee. And then coming back to center, drop them in the other direction. And then from here, start to move with breath. As you inhale, lift your knees, and as you exhale, drop them to one side. And keep continuing that movement. Inhale, lift, exhale, other side. And then coming back to center, and start to draw your knees into your body. We're going to wake up the body, kind of warm up the spine. As you inhale, you're going to rock back, and as you exhale, rock up to a seated position. From here, when you get to a seated position, you're going to lift the feet, find balance here, open through the chest, and we're going to do the same thing. As you inhale, rock back, and as you exhale, come back up to a balance. Nice. If you are ready to go today and you're not wanting this to be nice and easy, you can always take the knees out, grab the ankles, find balance without the legs, and I think we may have done this last week, but you can also extend the legs, grabbing the big toes, inhale, rocking back, and exhale, rocking up. Not happening today. There you go. And then one more rock, come all the way back up to seated. I know, right? Start to extend the legs all the way out long. And then from here, you're gonna already engage your belly, start to curl inward, and we're just gonna roll it down one vertebrae at a time. Fingertips can reach for your toes. Nice. Dropping the hands, you're gonna come into your hollow body today. So you can start by bending the knees, tuck your tailbone and send your low back down into the mat, and then start to extend your legs, maybe one leg or both. And as soon as your low back comes off the floor, hold there, bring it back in. If you want, you can extend fully, maybe arms overhead, and if your legs are long, really squeeze your butt here. Find some breath. And then wherever you are, even if arms are down, you're going to inhale long, and as you exhale, squeeze your knees into your chest, lift your shoulders. We're going to keep going. Follow breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. As you inhale and open, don't let your low back come off. And as you exhale and squeeze, maybe drawing your hips off the mat. Keep it breathing. You're going to really fire up the belly here. Couple more breaths. An option is just to draw the knees into the chest and take a rock instead. And whenever you are ready, draw your knees into your chest, rest your shoulders into the floor, take a slight just rock side to side. And then dropping your feet to the floor and extend your legs out long. You're going to bring one leg straight up to the sky, start to point with the toes, and you're going to use breath again. So you can stay low, just kind of taking a crunch, reaching for the foot, or if you want, you can come all the way up into like a one-legged V-sit, and then back down. So you're going to again follow breath. Inhale, open, reach overhead. As you exhale, come up, reach for the foot, all the way up or just a crunch. And if you are wanting to power this out this morning, start from a hollow body. So the leg that's on the floor, raise it off the floor just slightly. And then draw your knees into your chest, come down to your back, take a breath. We're going to do the same thing other side. So extending the right leg, send your left leg up towards the sky. And same thing, making this either low or high, so taking it as a stretch, or really firing up, exhale, reach up. Same thing, if you're taking this a little further, come from your hollow body. And then drawing your knees into your chest, release your shoulders one more time, take a breath. From here, you're going to just extend the legs out long. You can either place your hands behind your head or start to curl up, like just pretend that there's a line underneath your chest. You're going to bend from that line, reach your hands towards your feet. So try not to use any arms or neck here for the lift. You're really just bending from the belly. If you find that you're still using neck, place a hand or hands behind your neck. Give it some support. You're just holding here. Find breath. And then from here, tiny little pulses. Reach your fingers to your toes. And then nice and slowly, one vertebra at a time, come all the way to the floor, release your shoulders, draw your knees into your chest. One more rock side to side. So from here, you're gonna lie on your back, but you're gonna take your legs, just think one long line from fingertips to toes, so legs together laying on your spine. Hands are gonna come behind by your sides, palms are down. So you're either gonna take this easy on the low back, which is draw your knees in, curl your hips up, come back down. You can even slide your feet out on the ground. This can be nice and gentle. If you want more, lifting the legs straight, lifting the hips off the ground, maybe coming close to plow pose, coming all the way back down one vertebrae at a time. And if you want more, take your legs wide on the way up. As wide as you can, all the way up towards the together, like plow, and then come all the way down. Again, shifting one vertebrae at a time. Let's go for 3 more of these. Really find it nice and slow, not letting your low back come up. And again, you can always move from that hollow body position. And the next time you go long, go ahead and drop your knees into your chest and drop your feet to the floor. Hands are coming to the outsides, and you're just going to take your right leg, cross it over your left knee. So right ankle over left knee. And then start to draw the left knee in towards your body as you drive your right knee away from you. So you're just taking like a line, like you would seated pigeon, but you're doing this on the ground. If you want, you can always grab the left thigh, drawing that leg a little closer to your body. And if you've got the thigh, releasing your arms, take them out to the sides like a T, palms down. And you're going to take a twist here, taking the sole of your right foot over towards the ground. Nice. Keep pressing that top knee away from you or up towards the ceiling. And then coming back to center, switch out the legs. Let's take the other side. This time, if you want, you can grab the right thigh, draw it in, send the left knee out. If you're wanting more abdominal engagement, just press the knee and ankle into one another without using your hands. Slowly dropping that right foot to the floor, take a twist, sole of the left foot comes to the floor. Again, pressing the top knee away from you, opening up to the front of the hip. And then coming back to the center. Drawing your knees in towards your body again. One time we're going to come back to seated, so you're going to inhale, rock back. Exhale, come all the way up to a seated position. Nice. Go ahead and extend the legs out long. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, forward fold here. Just take hands to shin, ankle, or feet. Drawing your chest as close to your thighs, your belly to thighs as possible. Nose are reaching all the way for your feet. And then bring it all the way back up. Nice. From here, we're just going to roll it over, whether you want to cross the legs or bring them around, and we're coming into hands and knees. From here, spread your fingers, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up for down dog. So maybe starting to pedal the feet, bending one knee at a time. And then dropping both heels into the mat, really feeling the back of the legs here. As you inhale, come forward, find your plank, and as you exhale, come all the way to the floor, leading with the chest, trying to get your chest to hit before your hips do, and then dropping your feet, dropping your hands, and we're coming into a baby cobra. So lifting through the shoulders, trying to take any weight out of the hands. Coming back to the floor. We're moving back to down dog, so either through hands and knees or tuck your toes. Lift your hips, down dog. And then from here, looking between the mat and between the hands, step or hop forward for forward fold. Hands come to shin, ankle, or floor. Soften the knees, tuck your tailbone, roll it up. As you inhale, reach all the way up, and as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Nice. So from here, I'm going to do a little bit of work on the toes. If this doesn't work for your ankle or feet, you can also just kind of hang here, working in Malasana. So we'll get there. So from here, we're going to start to raise your heels off the ground, coming into a balance. Arms can be out to the side or heart center if you're feeling balanced today. Try to draw everything in towards your midline. And from here, slowly bend the knees. We're coming to a squat. Taking this as slow as you can. Once you come down all the way to the bottom, we're going to start by just placing the hands on the mat, lifting the hips, and coming back to a forward fold. Soften the knees, tuck your tailbone, roll it all the way up. And this time stepping back, making sure you have some room in the front of your mat. You're going to do the same thing. Arms are out to the side or heart center. Start to lift your toes, shift your balance. Again, using inner ankles, inner thighs, use your glutes, everything squeezes in towards the midline. Same thing, nice and slowly coming back down to that squat. So if you have the flexibility in your ankles, you're going to bring your arms out for balance, and you're just going to start to shift forward to draw your knees down towards the floor, and then come up all the way onto the knees. If you need to ditch your toes, just come onto your knees. As you inhale, come all the way up, taking a slight back bend here. Send your hips forward, open through the chest. And then coming all the way forward, hands come forward. You're going to shift back into the toes, lifting the knees. And we're going to come halfway up into bear pose. So it's not quite chair. You're going to lift your hips back, arms reach out to the front, heels are still off the floor. Come all the way up and release. We're going to go through that a little faster, about 3 more times. So as you inhale, reach up. As you exhale, slowly sink in. Come into the knees, inhale, lift, open to the chest. Coming back to center, arms reach out in the front, shifting your weight, lift the heels, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink into your pose. Shift your weight, come back to your knees, hips forward, open to the chest. Back up. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, sink back. If it's available, sink into the knees, inhale, lift. Finding your balance again, back to toes. This time go slowly. Really use your legs as slow as you can. And when you come back to center, releasing the heels, shake out the legs. Nice. So stepping back to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, come halfway up to that flat back. And as you exhale, come all the way back to the floor. Hands come to the floor, so bend the knees if you need to. Step the left leg back for lunge. As you inhale, come up. Nice. Arms come out, moving with breath. Inhale, lift. Straighten both legs. Find balance. As you exhale, sink. Inhale, lift. So kind of just working on core and balance here. And then from here, bringing your hands to the floor, release your back knee and shift backwards so that the front leg is straight. You're going to draw your toes back towards your knee. Chest is nice and open. So you're lengthening out the hamstring. Really drive your hips towards the back of the room. And then shifting back forward, tuck your back toes, come back into your lunge. From here, you're gonna come chest down. You can always place your hands on the floor and step to a forward fold. If not, we're kind of moving through a warrior three back to a standing position. So shifting to your front leg, back leg comes up, drive through the heel. Arms can be out front or towards the back foot. And then whenever you're ready, coming all the way back to standing, shake it out. Nice. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. And then exhale, deepen the fold. Hands come to the ground. Right leg step back. This time we're coming back to lunge. Arms come out to the side. Hips are forward. Shoulders are up and back. As you inhale, lift. Straighten both legs. As you exhale, sink. So each time you come up, really squeezing towards your midline, you're also lengthening through the rib cage, so it's challenging your balance. One more time, lengthen as long as you can. Really reach to those fingertips. And then sink. Nice. All right, from here, go ahead and drop that back leg. Shifting back so that the front leg can come up. Toes are back, shoulders open. Hips are sending to the back of the room. Hands can be on the floor, on the hips. And then slowly shifting forward, bend the front knee, tuck the back toes, come back to your lunge. Arms are up. From here, shifting forward, either bringing your hands to the floor or coming to a forward fold, or shifting through your three-legged dog. Shifting through your warrior three, maybe reaching back for the foot, and then coming all the way back to standing, shake it out. We got a lot of legs going on. I'll switch it to upper body soon. So from here, just coming into your first balance pose, kind of. So shifting into your left leg, bring your right leg up. We're just finding tree pose here. So if balance is off today, there's like nothing you can do about it. So it can be here, below, above the knee, or up high. Arms can be out or in. And really give some pressure between both legs. Again, squeezing everything centered. And if it's available, reach all the way overhead, lengthen through the fingers, and then reach through the rib cage as well. And then releasing your hands all the way back to heart center. Release that leg, shake it out, and let's take the other side. So as you're here, really focusing on getting all four corners of the feet into the mat. Squeezing everything together again, abdominals stay tight. And then reaching it all the way up. Again, lengthen all the way through the rib cage. Those fingertips are reaching as high to the ceiling as you can. Elevate your shoulders. And then reaching all the way down, hands to heart center, and coming back to your standing position, shake it out. All right, inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up to a flat back. And as you exhale, sink. Bending both knees, placing both hands on the ground, and this time step back both feet to down dog. Left leg's gonna come up, allow that right heel to sink into the mat. And then from here, drop the left toes on top of the right heel, and then really press that right heel down into the mat. See if you can lengthen out the back of the leg or calf even more. As you inhale, come forward. You can either drop both knees to the floor or stay where you're at. And as you exhale, you're taking a tricep push-up. So draw your elbows in, lead with the chest, come all the way back up. Send your hips back up for that one-legged down dog. And then lifting the left heel back up for three-legged dog. Drop that left leg to the ground and let's switch sides. Right leg comes up. Really allow the left heel to sink. Trying to keep both hip bones facing the floor. And this time dropping the right big toe and second toe on top of the left ankle. See if you can deepen that stretch in the back of the left leg and calf. kind of working into the Achilles. And one more time, as you inhale, come forward, stay here, or drop your knees, or tricep push-up. Send it right back. This time, right leg comes back up, three-legged dog. And then dropping that foot to the mat. From here, go ahead and shift forward, drop your knees, release the tops of your feet, and come all the way up onto the knees. Arms come up, shift your hips forward, take a slight back bend. Coming all the way up, drop your hands to the floor, spread your fingers, tuck your toes, and come into down dog. Left leg up, three-legged dog. This time you're going to shift forward, bringing the left knee into the left elbow and hold it. Send it back, three-legged dog. You can do this same thing from hands and knees, by the way. Draw the left knee into your chest, hold it. As you're here, really press through the shoulders, curl up through the body, send it back, three-legged dog. This time, try to take it over to the opposite shoulder if that's available, or the opposite elbow, and if not, keep it on the same. This time, send it back. Again, you can stay here, move from hands and knees. We're going to do that one more time. Left knee to left elbow. Hold it there, but take it to the right elbow. Left elbow. You're so welcome. Center. Hold it, squeeze it into your chest, and then send it all the way back for three-legged dog. Drop your left leg to the ground. Inhale, come forward for plank. And as you exhale, come all the way to the floor or to a hover. And this time, inhale, coming into cobra or up dog. Allow your shoulders to fall away from your ears. Elbows are soft. An option here is always just forearms. And then from here, moving back to hands and knees or down dog. Hands come by the chest. Wherever you're headed, down dog or hands and knees, we're going to take the other side. Right leg comes up. Three-legged dog or from hands and knees. Shift forward. Right elbow to right, or right knee to right elbow, and hold. Send it back. Bring it to the opposite elbow. Hold. Send it back. Bring it to the center. Send it back. And this time bring it all the way to the right elbow, hold. Staying in your plank, take it to the left elbow. Back to the right elbow. Bring it to the center, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then send it all the way back for three-legged dog. Drop that right foot to the floor. Inhale, come forward. Nice and slow, come all the way to the back. Knees are up or down, doesn't matter. Hands are by the chest. Inhale, come up, cobra or up dog, or sphinx on the forearms. So if I just tired out your arms, just hold it low. Really finding breath here. And then coming all the way to the floor, we're moving back to down dog, again through hands and knees, or through plank. Starting to look between the hands, and step or hop forward for forward fold. Soften the knees, tuck your tailbone, roll it up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. From here, bringing your hands back to heart center, start to shift your weight into your right leg. Your left leg is going to come up for a balance pose here. We're going to shift this all the way back to your lunge. So nice and slow. If you need to toe touch on the way back, just toe touch. If not, moving through a warrior three, taking a squat through that front leg and dropping the back leg behind you. If you need to adjust, adjust. Option here is just to drop the knee. From here, big arms lift through the ceiling, send your hips forward, open through the chest, and drive through that back heel. Dropping both hands to the floor, left hand stays, right hand comes up for a twist. Top hand comes comes back to the floor, we're coming back to your lunge. So we're going to alternate between the two. If you've got the back knee down, it's just an inhale, lift. Drop both hands down, come to your twist. Back to center, inhale, lift. Start to make this with your own breath pace. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. This can be as gentle or powerful as you like it. One more breath. And then coming back to the center, and if you haven't already engaged your core, slowly drop that back knee, and then shift back for a front, same thing, front runner's lunge, draw your toes up. Start to send your hips back. And if you want more here, you can always slide out into your front split stretch. I know you guys are gonna jump on that. So it doesn't matter, if you're here, you're here. This is just a half splits. And whenever you're ready, slowly taking that back in to a half split if you're not already there. Really focus on driving the hips back, and you're going to slightly turn your toes towards the outside. Bringing them back to center. And from here, you're going to shift forward so that the front foot comes down towards the floor. And we're going to come into a dancer pose a little bit unusually this time. So you're going to try to find some weight in the front foot, and you're going to come all the way to standing. If that does not work, just place your hands on the ground, come to a forward fold. Otherwise, you're going to start to find balance. Nice and slowly lifting all the way up. Start to bend that back knee. So left hand reaches back for the foot. Come into your dancer. Start to squeeze your knees together. Send the hips forward. And if you have the openness in the shoulders to come to the inside of the foot, great. Start to really press your foot into your hand, creating an O between your back and your foot. Maybe bringing your chest down. And then coming all the way back to center. Release it down, shake it out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up to that flat spine. And then exhale, deepen your fold. Bending both legs, step both legs back for down dog. As you inhale, come forward for plank or supported plank. And nice and slowly come all the way to the floor or to a hover. Swim forward, cobra, up dog, or sphinx. So forearms or hands, either way, making sure shoulders are away from the ears. And then moving back to down dog. Through hands and knees, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Start to look between the hands and step the left leg forward. So we're just coming into lunge other side. Come all the way up. Really stretching out the front of the right side this time. Drive that back heel. Lengthen through the arms, reach through the rib cage. Make it one long line from fingertips to the back of that back heel. Both hands come down, right hand stays, left hand comes up. So we're going to start moving a little faster, same as the other side. If you want to, drop that back knee. You're going to inhale, lift. Exhale, come down for your twist. Follow your own breath pace. Try to make it so that your breath is the most important thing and your body is just following. This can be powerful, this can be easy. And then whenever you are back to that lunge, go ahead and release the back knee. Go ahead and shift your weight back, coming back to that runner's lunge. And then again, staying here or just allowing that front leg to slide out, coming into your front split stretch. So it doesn't matter whether it's full or half, you're going to feel this on the back of the hamstring regardless. again, coming back to a half split if you're not already here. Same thing, really find your edge here. Hips are back. Keep driving them towards the back as the chest is up and open. And then turn those toes towards the outside. Coming back to center. And again, we're starting to bend into the front leg. You're going to shift your weight to the front. We're coming back to a standing position. You can get there any way you want. If you want to, really starting to lift the back knee, shift your weight to the front, come through maybe your warrior 3 to standing, and find balance. Reaching back, grabbing the right foot, moving back into your dancer pose. Whenever you are ready, try to get that nice big O. This is your time frame. But whenever you're ready, dropping that foot to the floor. You're going to inhale, come all the way up. And as you exhale, forward fold, you're just going to hold here. Releasing the low back, the back of the legs, but even let go of the shoulders, the neck. Soften your knees, tuck your tailbone, roll it all the way back up. Nice. Inhale, lift. Slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Bending both knees, step both legs back for down dog. And then from here, go ahead and shift forward to hands and knees. I'm going to be moving through a transition that's got dolphin in it, and it is a lot of upper body. So if you feel like you don't want to swim forward, you can also just stay low, and your option will be to shift forward, lift here, exhale, send it back into a high child's pose, like a puppy's pose. So you can stay right there if this does not feel good. Otherwise, coming all the way into your down dog. And then from here, using your arms to drop your elbows, squeeze your elbows in, wrap your scapula around your back, draw it back and down, and come into your dolphin pose. Really keep pressing the heart towards your thighs. And from here, we're going to swim forward, lifting the elbows, coming into a low plank, and then keep swimming forward, lifting the chest, coming into cobra or up dog. We're going to keep doing that. So send the hips backward for down dog or puppy pose, right? Puppy can be here. Same thing, drop the elbows, come into your dolphin, swim forward, lifting the elbows slightly for a low lunge, keep swimming forward, lift. Exhale, puppy or down dog. So let's go through that 3 more times, and I just want you to use your own breath pace here, right? Shifting forward. Big inhale as you lift through the chest, exhale as you send it back. Let's do that one more time. And the next time you are in cobra or up dog, keeping the knees down, shift all the way back for a child's pose. Drop your hips, arms are long. We're going to stretch the outsides of the shoulders, so walking your hands all the way to the right and reaching long with your left fingertips. You can start to turn your chest a little left and right, kind of figuring out that sweet spot, whether it's on the lower shoulder or upper shoulder. And when you find your edge here of that stretch, really use your breath. So really start to expand through the rib cage. And then come back to the center, take the other side. Meeting here. And then coming back to the center for your child's pose. And starting to shift your weight forward for hands and knees. So I'm going to come into a little bit more core work. You can also take plank, or you can also just stay in a child's pose, kind of work through the hips. Otherwise, you're going to be into your knees, and you're bringing your hands so that they're not in front of you, but they're all the way back by the knees. From here, you're going to press into your hands, and you're thinking about curling up through the rib cage. So it looks like so. And you're gonna try to take as much weight off the feet as possible. And it's the same thing with breath, so you can kind of see what's happening with my spine. It's a big inhale. As you exhale, press in. So you're following that pattern. And again, the idea is to take as much weight off of the feet as possible. Ideally, you wouldn't use your feet, right? So you're gonna try to turn your fingertips out so that you're not cranking on the wrist as much. That's where you're at. So you're gonna inhale, lift. I'm gonna inhale, big breath in. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Exhale. If you have the ability to hover one foot or both feet, great. I'm not close enough to you to see the dirty look she just gave me. One more breath. And then release it, come all the way down. Lean forward back to your hands and knees. Spread your fingers, tuck your toes, and find down dog. You're gonna start to look between the hands, bend the knees, lift the heels, and take a slight step or hop forward, forward fold. Soften the knees, tuck your tailbone, roll it up. So from here, we're going to take a shoulder opener a little bit more actively. So take your left thumb and turn it down. You're going to bring it behind your body. Really try to reach for the opposite side of your body and then up towards the opposite shoulder blade. Once you have found your edge, making sure that that shoulder is back and down. And then opposite hand's going to reach over, and you're going to work right over the pec. If you need to, you can kind of get up into the shoulder, maybe over bicep tendon, but really trying to keep this in the pec. If what you're doing with your right hand doesn't feel good, you're probably right on it. And then releasing that hand, slowly release the left hand. Turn it thumb up, thumb down. We're going to take the other side. Left hand comes behind, or right hand comes behind you. Thumb down, bring it all the way across, reaching for the opposite shoulder blade. Same thing, that shoulder needs to be back and down. So if you're trying so hard you're rolling forward, just ease it up a little. Same thing, you can stay here just using breath, or if you want, taking the left hand, working the pec other side. And then releasing that hand down, releasing the right hand out, thumb up and down. And then as you inhale, reach up, clasp your fingers together, and you're going to try to squeeze your elbows together as you bring the hand behind your back. So as you're here, you're not going to open up through the rib cage. Try to keep your rib cage pulled in, keeping that nice hollow body. And then from here, inhale, lift. Exhale, release the arms. Roll out the shoulders. Nice. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway up to that flat spine. And as you exhale, deepen the fold. Bending both knees, step the right leg back. Drop the back knee. And start to shift your weight backwards again, drawing up that front toes. So the right leg is out front. Draw the front toes towards your knee. And then from here, draw your shoulders back. I want you to find compression by really squeezing your belly coming down, placing your hands on the floor, or if you need to, hips. And then from here, point your toes. From here, squeeze your belly to your thigh. Maybe lift that front leg up, just using deep abdominals. So it's going to feel like your quad's on fire. And then releasing that down, shift forward, inhale, lift. Same thing, shift backwards, straighten the front leg, hands come to the hips or to the floor, pointing those front toes, lift. You see where we're going. Start to move a little faster with breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale down, lifting the front. One more. If you're finding that little shake in there, that's okay. And then releasing that front foot if it's not already. Shift forward for a low lunge. Back knee can be up or down. Right hand comes to the inside of the leg and you're going to hug the right knee in towards your body. And I want you to think about whether the back knee is up or down, squeezing your knees away from one another, and see if you get your hips a little closer to the floor. If you have a lot of flexibility, maybe coming down to forearm, both forearm. Coming back to the hands. Right hand comes to the outside. Shift the front leg back for down dog. And let's go directly to the other side. So left leg up. Bring it all the way through the hands and drop the right knee to the floor. You're coming back to that low lunge. Come all the way up. Shift your hips back, front toes up. Shift your hips backwards. And we're going to start to find that compression again. Point through the toes, squeezing your belly to your thigh as much as possible, and then drawing that front foot up. It's the same push as we just did with both feet. Swim forward, inhale, lift. Start to move with your breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, come forward. Reach through the fingers, hips forward. Exhale, come down. 2 more times. So while this feels like your quad's going to bust out, it's really just deep core. It's really just psoas. And then coming all the way back to center. Both hands come down. You're going to take that low lunge this side. Left hand comes on the inside. Back knee can be up or down. Again, finding your hands, forearms, squeezing the knee into the shoulder. And just see if you can, as you breathe, let your hips sink a little further. It's the same stretch whether the back knee is up or down, so whatever feels more comfortable. Back to the hands. Left hand comes back to the outside. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and step the front leg back for down dog. As you inhale, come forward. And as you exhale, this time you're just going to start to walk your knees in. Cross your legs and sit back or bring them around, coming to a seated position. So we're going to come back into shoulders and hip openers. Just for the last few minutes here. So from here, you're going to inhale, lift. As you exhale, bring your hands behind you. Fingertips are facing your toes. Start to open up through the shoulders, draw them back and down, chest is lifted. If you have open enough hips, you can press into the knees and lift the hips off the floor. This may or may not happen. Beautiful. One more big breath in. And then slowly shifting the hips back. Letting the legs come out long and reaching the arms all the way down, coming back to your forward fold. You can take this easy, just relaxing into it. If you are really still like, I'm powered up and ready to go, you can place your hands by your shins and lift through the feet here. Just making sure to keep that compression. I mean, I don't want to, I'm just giving you options. And then slowly come all the way back. Start to inhale, lift. Exhale, bring your hands behind your body, this time fingers facing away. So this is one of my favorite ones to really open up more mobility in the shoulders. Draw the shoulder back and down. And then if you need to, use your feet to shift your hips forward. Find a place where it's your edge, and then same thing, as you breathe in, expand through the rib cage. Make your breath work for you a little bit. And then from here, start to place your feet back on the ground. If you didn't, you're going to keep a slight bend to your elbow and shift your hips backward. Go ahead and take your legs wide this time. So as wide as you can. You're going to take your right hand, place it to the inside of your knee or maybe elbow, whatever you can come to with your chest is open, and your left hand reaches over. So it's really more important to use this bottom hand to press into the inner thigh and rotate the chest open than how far down you come. If you have the flexibility to go all the way to your shoulder, feel free. And then coming all the way up, and let's take the other side. So left hand comes down, hand or elbow, right hand comes over, reach long with the fingers. Again, finding your edge, same thing, find your breath. Chest is open. Sometimes you may need a more shoulder opener. You can always take it behind or back, open through the elbow and chest. And then come all the way up. And then from here, last move before we bring it down is just kind of opening up to the outsides of the hips. So you can, again, I think we've done this before, we're doing a seated version of pigeon. So you can always place a block or something underneath that right ankle. Otherwise, you can take the right leg, cross it over the left leg. And if you're here, you want to make sure that your knees can stack and both hip bones or sits bones can still hit the floor. If you have a lot of opening through the hips, you're welcome to take fire log. So you're having one shin directly over the other, but you don't want it where your ankle's kind of crooked. You want to make sure you can draw your toes back and keep a flat line. So any of those poses that felt good today, right? And it could just be a crisscross. You're going to inhale, grow tall, and exhale, fold forward as you drive your hips back. So you're thinking belly to thigh, but the more you draw your hips towards the back of the room, the more you drive them back, the more you'll feel this. And as you do that, just use your breath so that each time you exhale, see if you can release a little tension, sink a little further into it. So this is a great pose to spend some time in at home, whether that be computer time, TV, outside, whatever that is for you. One more breath. And then coming all the way up, you're going to release the legs and take the other side. So whatever version you took on the other side, take on this side, whichever pose. Same thing, inhale, lift, tall spine, really keeping that spine versus rounding it out. Keep shifting your hips back, drawing your belly button and pelvis forward. Kind of ease into it, really using your breath. One more breath. And then coming all the way up, go ahead and release the legs, shake them out. You're going to scoot to the front of your mat and roll all the way to your back. Start to draw your feet in. You're just going to take one short bridge pose here. If you want to come into full wheel, you already know where you're going. Otherwise, press into the soles of your feet, tuck your tailbone, lift your hips, neck is nice and long, gaze over your belly, and really reach your knees away from you. And then whenever you're ready, nice and slowly bring it all the way back down. Bring your arms out to the sides, palms down. Bring your knees into your chest and just let your knees fall one direction as you look out over the opposite hand. So just taking a twist here. Bringing your knees back to the center, take the other side. Coming back to the center. And just release your feet to the ground. You're moving to your final pose or savasana. So you can either prop your knees together, let your legs out long, just find some pose that's comfortable for you. Maybe even just soles of the feet together. And wherever you are, just closing your eyes. Coming right back to your breath and finding that gentle rhythm between the rise and fall of your chest, your belly. And just for a moment, not allowing your mind to wander, but just staying very present with just you, your mat, and your breath. Next breath in, really expand through your belly, fill the lungs, and as you exhale again, coming back to that audible sound through the mouth. Take a couple breaths in that manner. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale. Just letting your breath re-energize your body. And coming back to a normal breath pattern. Starting to move into any last position that would feel good. This could be arms overhead or knees into chest. Maybe doing a little rolling. And then whenever you're ready, with as little effort as possible, coming back to a seated position. And dropping your fingertips to the floor so you can take your time to get here. And you're just going to drop one ear over to one shoulder. And nice and slowly roll the chin all the way down to the chest. And come up all the way to the other side. Rolling side to side. Bringing your neck back to center. Start to lift through the chin, and then keeping the chin lifted, turn it over towards the right. If you want, you can take your left hand behind your back, really drawing that shoulder down. If you need more, just gently touching your teeth together. slowly come all the way back to center. We'll take the other side, chin up. Take it all the way over to the left, keeping the chin lifted, maybe bringing the right arm behind your back. And then coming back to center, fingertips to floor, long spine, and then just tuck your chin into your chest, lengthening out the back of the neck. Back to center, nice gentle roll side to side, just letting it roll in its own natural range of motion. Releasing your head back to neutral. And as you inhale, reach up, and as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Thank you guys so much for doing yoga with me this morning. Namaste.